This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, Don't mistake the new me for the old me. They can't stop me now, I'm with the home team. No beginner, I'm a winner. Took a couple losses, now I'm cooking, let me simmer. Yeah, tunnel vision, all I see is win, 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 win. This my city section where you been. We move faster alone, but go further together. We can weather any weather forever. A dream team, I done seen things. Confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team out here celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, Forget the things you probably thought you knew. A new day is approaching, turn the gray skies into blue. I grew up on these same blocks, school of hard knocks. Had to get it on a hard top, took the hard shots, but we made it. Anticipated, highly decorated. The home team is winning, celebrated. The victory is all mine, and everything is alright. And you know how to see things, confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team out here celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like,
All right, what up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Spike Kool-Aid, the evening edition for Wednesday, the 12th of November, 2025. We are back. So a couple things with the camera. So my camera is capable of 4K. So I was trying to use it for 4K and make videos in 4K, but it really wasn't working. So I don't know what was going on. I wanted to start recording videos in 4K, but what was happening is my camera was overheating. So I went back to 1080p and there was a frame rate issue. So hopefully I'm less laggy. I might have to get my voice to match my video just a smidget. So I'll be working on that for a little while. Not right now, of course, but that's what's going on. So if you see some lagging, that's what's happening there. Right now, the show has no particular time, but we're probably going to try to go in the morning. There's a particular creator that I want to snuff out and compete with because he's a bum. But at the same time, I am the far superior creator. So I will, it doesn't matter what time I go on, right? Shout out to the people in the building. We got Nathan Mack in the Hey, Nathan, did you get your stuff, bro? Did you get your stuff? Man, did you get your stuff? What up, Lauren? What up, Doe? What's up? Pierce is in the building. Lupe, Fave. We got Braylon is in the building as well. Yeah, we got 5 frames a minute. 5 frames a minute. So is it choppy now? Because I went and fixed it, but it shouldn't be choppy. If it's choppy now, then I have to go in there and fix it. This is the channel you can talk your junk? No, I can't talk my. What's up, B? I can't talk my junk. Look, I'm done talking junk until I need to talk junk again. All right. I lost like 40 subs, man, during that whole shabazzle. Hold on. But you know what? I will say this, and we'll get into the content. It's not as bad as before. Okay, so it is a little off. Okay, all right, I'll try to work on that. I did notice a little bit, there's a little stickiness. I don't know what that is. I'm wondering if it's, the camera is a little higher than it usually was at the top of my head. So I'll try to figure that out because I have to I have to the frame rate of my camera has to match the frame rate of my software. So I don't know. I'm doing 1080p 30 frames a second. So I don't know why it's doing that, but I'll try to see what's going on. It's a little choppy on your end. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can do this now. All right, if I disappear, because I might make it worse, man. All right, so right now we are at 920. All right, so I might disappear for a minute. Hold on. All right. $920. Is it? It might be. It might be. Hold on. Oh. Okay. Nope, that's not right. $920 by 12. All right, let me know if this is a little better. Is this better or is it worse? Or is it the same? If not, if it's too bad, we'll get through it and then I'll fix it later. So I don't know what I did, man. But again, I was trying to change my camera to 4K, but I didn't know it was going to overheat in 4K, and it didn't even work. So I don't know if I had everything matched up. What's 40 to 31K? I didn't notice unless I'm looking for it. No, Aaron, it bothers me. It bothers me. Is it better? Is it better than it was? And what happened was, like I said, I tried to use 4K because my videos are recorded in 1080p, but I'm watching these people do 4K, and I'm like, my camera is capable of doing 4K. It was $1,000, right? So I switched it, but it wind up making things worse. What up? What up, Dirty Boy? What's up, man? What's up, Kaylin? What's going on? Is it better or is it still choppy? And if it's choppy, how bad is it? I'll try to work on that because I did notice it in my videos. I didn't know if I had fixed it or not. All right. So shout out to everybody that has elderly parents. My wife has elderly parents, and her dad is kind of incapacitated, and she is going through that nightmare. So shout out to everybody that does that. Kirby Joseph. Is Kirby Joseph playing against the Eagles? We need him. Okay, you said it's good, so it's a little better. All right, that might. So looks like I had to go on back to. Hold on. Let me see what the frame, what we are here. The frame rate, because I think it was a frame rate situation. All right, so right now I'm at 30 frames per second. I am at 920 times 1080. And maybe I think I was a little too low before. But again, let me know. I did notice it. You're not, as long as you're not delayed. Okay, so Aaron, you saying it's a little bit better? I think it's the same. Okay, all right. Let me look and see what y'all talking about. When you have a good thing going and then you mess it up. Okay, yeah, I can see it. I can see it. It's almost like it's missing a frame. It's yeah, I'll try to figure it out. I'll try and figure it out when we're done. All right. So what up? Let me see. Okay, so I'll work on it after this. My wife is on her way home. I know she's gonna be irritated, so I'll chat with her for a minute and then I'll try to fix it. It's off just a little. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me try one more thing because it's gonna bother me. All right, so my camera is in. Let me try, because the software will tell me what I can't do. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me try to change it. I'm gonna disappear again. Hold on. All right, so we're gonna do this. Then we're gonna do. What if I do? No, it's not that. No, I won't do that. I won't do that because I think I'm gonna mess it up. Frame rate. Dang, bro. All right, I'll figure it out later. Yeah, I'll figure it out later. Because otherwise, dang, man. I'm going to mess it up. Because you really got to have a keen eye to really see it. So I'll figure it out, man. But I'm so mad. All right, so let me see. What's up? Chris says, yo, what up with Woodward Sports? The smear campaign on St. Brown, I thought they were a Lions channel. Well, I don't watch them, so I don't know what if it's going on. Okay, so Kiera, what's happening is I think the frame rate is off, so I have to go in my camera and match the frame rate to the frame rate of the software. And when I tried to put my camera in 4K, I messed it up. And so I have to figure out what it was on before. And so I'm doing that. There's a couple things. So let me figure. So I might be a little bit choppy, but I promise to get it figured out. About it. The stream was kind of choppy. It's way better than it was. Okay. All right. As far as St. Brown, I don't know what they're doing because I don't watch them. What settings did you change it when you made it 4K? I did. I forgot, bro, but it was like 60 frames a second. I don't know if I'm on 60 frames. So the camera is on 30 frames a second. My software is on 30 frames a second. If I try to change the software to 60, it might mess it up. I don't want to mess it up even more. And that's already taken up 5 minutes of the show. So, or more than that. So I'll try to figure it out. I'm just glad. So yeah, so here's the deal, y'all. Here's the deal. And we'll get into the show real quick. I am really trying, man. I'm trying to, we got Motor City Cats working with us. Nick is still here, but he's, kind of tied up. I'm really trying to I was like, Derek, you kind of got a gold mine here, right? But the problem is I'm unable to pay people like Woodward Sports can. So like for me, if you work under this channel, you get paid per video. So that's the best that I can do. But I'm trying to give people a platform if they make content. And you got to be good at what you do, right? So I've learned that you can't just have anybody work with you. They got to be able to cultivate an audience and stuff like that. So with the Pistons doing so well, I wish I was into basketball like that because I would start talking Pistons. But I'm really trying to find people that will join the crew and that want to talk more than just Lions, because Lions is the dominant topic right now. The Tigers would have been great if I was in the baseball like that. You know what I'm saying? The Wolverines, the Michigan State Spartans, the WNBA team, when they come back, whatever the situation. We did cross 55.1. Yesterday's video about Deron Payne did ridiculous numbers. It's like at 10K and we're growing. So I'm really trying to give you the best fan-driven content that I could possibly give you. St. Brown, okay. So I really don't want to talk about that, Fave, because when you mentioned, as a matter of fact, oh no, that's on, yeah, okay, because that is a whole different thing. Like talking about that, man, will start a whole crap show. So, okay, Woodward Sports, we're talking about how the NFL should suspend Brown. Really? I don't watch them, so I don't know. Will says, what's up, Derek? Okay, Ahmed Hassanin coming back is good, but however, I do agree with you because he has not played meaningful snaps and has not played against starting defensive linemen. Okay, Nate, what up, though, bro? I knew you would know. Says, double your shutter speed should be at least 1 in 60 frames per second. Okay, Nate. Okay, so if my camera right now is on, they give you 29.97, and that's what it is on my software. Should I go up on the camera? Because I would have to stop the stream. I have to do that when I'm not streaming. But, okay, just shoot me a text, bro. I would appreciate that. Hey, everybody put a congratulations as well in the chat for my main man, Nate. Him and his wife are about to welcome a new person to the family. I think it's happening this month, right? So congratulations. Put some type of congratulatory text in the comment section, man. All right, bro was crying on an Instagram story. Brown not getting suspended, a fine at the most. Yes, St. Brown is not getting suspended. He will be fine, though. He will be fine. To me, and again, we broke down that play yesterday. To me, it's totally different. Totally different between the two. What Deron Payne did. But I'm like, yo, what are you crying for? What are you crying, bro? He straight narked. He narked. He went on his IG early in the morning and put this little comment out about, see, here's what really happened. I was just retaliating. But come on, dog. Nate says any day. Hey, Nate, your boy was born this month, man. So that's going to be a good kid. That kid going to be great. The other one is too, but your boy was born in November, man. So, yes, sir. Ahmed playing better than Davenport. Davenport will get cut. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I couldn't even imagine, bro. Like, my son, and I noticed that we'll get into the content. But my wife and I were talking yesterday. So, my son is turning 16 in January. 16 in January. He's got the chin hair. He's got the sideburns. He wants to get the 360 waves. He walking around with a stocking cap on, 24/7. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny just watching kids grow, man, and him and I, having the conversations. You look forward to the time that you can have a conversation with your kid, and then that time is so quick. Like, it goes from they want to spend every second with you, and then they don't, right? And then you got to kind of figure out what's going on and keep track of them from afar. You know what I mean? And then that's when they start to develop their own personality. And there could be things that you don't know that you need to take care of, man. So, but it's kind of crazy. Yeah, I'll have a 16-year-old, man, in January. And it's like, yo, that's crazy. He's in the 10th grade. And it seems like yesterday we were watching Sprout on NBC. So, yeah, it was a Sprout channel. Yep. So anyway, man, and I told him, and like I said, man, we reminiscing right now, but I told him how you won't remember, like I remember everything about your life. I remember every stage, but you don't. You won't remember you being a baby and you not wanting to be away from me and all this other stuff. Like, you won't really remember that, but I remember, and I think that's why it's so hard for parents to when it's time to let go, because they were there from the beginning. They remember everything, man. So anyway, you can tell that your boy is getting nostalgic and emotional. Fave says, yeah, he hit me first. Yeah, it's too late for them to suspend them now. If anything, they'd fine him, and I don't see that happening either. Well, Kiara, you know what? I think they will fine him. I think they will. I think just like they'll fine Micah Parsons for tripping who did he trip? He tripped somebody, right? They'll fine him as well. So I think he will get fined, but you could be right that they don't get fined. All right. So Davenport won't get cut. I do agree. I do agree that he won't get cut. Man, I wish I could rise to 360 waves again. Well, my hair is way too coarse for that. I have never been able to get 360 waves. It was way too coarse, bro. So anyway. All right. So let's talk about a couple things that I wanted to talk about. If you guys saw yesterday or earlier this week, the Detroit Lions re-signed Ahmed Hassanin to the practice squad, and he actually said that he turned down being on every other team. And I'm like, what does that mean? But we'll get into that in a second. Hold on. It was something I wanted to talk about, but I did write a couple things down. I appreciate you leaving them final farewell. Wait, who? Super excited. Reed is coming back. We need him bad. Yeah. All right, so let's get into it. Man. All right. Yo, the Detroit Lions have a couple guys coming back, as a matter of fact, on defense. One of them did fantastic for this team. It was sad to see him go out. And the other one we completely expected to be a non-factor with this team. But I will say, in the game and a half that he played, he did accumulate 1 sack. Who am I talking about? Marcus Davenport. Davenport and DJ Reed, their 21-day window, both of them open today. And they have, of course, the 21 days to come back. So the Detroit Lions have to decide whether or not they're going to put them up for the season or to put them back into the lineup. But we saw it last year that, let's say, for instance, one of them isn't ready. You can put them back to the 53-man roster and immediately put them back on IR. The bad thing about that is you burn the spot, like Ife Melifonwu did last year. But how are you feeling, man? DJ Reed, I'm excited about. When he first went out, we looked at it like, yo, we're probably not going to come back. He's probably not going to be back till December at the earliest, and it's looking like that. The Detroit Lions have to make a decision by December 4th. Ironically, we have a game against the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. So the Detroit Lions play on Thanksgiving, and then they play a week later. And I put this on my other channel, but didn't this happen a couple years ago where we played on Thanksgiving and then we played the following Thursday? But Marcus Davenport, I have no faith in him at all. I just don't. There's no reason that I should have any faith that not only is he going to finish the season, I mean, who knows? Who knows? The dude, and I talked about this on Lion Syndicate. I want you to put in the comment section, I'll give you 5 seconds. Marcus Davenport in the past 3 seasons now, well, 2.5, he's had a total of 43 games that he could have possibly played. How many games do you think that he's played in the 2.5 years, in the last 2.5 seasons, out of a possible 43 games? So that's 17 with the Minnesota Vikings, 17 with the Detroit Lions in year 1, and now 9 with the Detroit Lions in year 2. How many games do you think Marcus Davenport has played? You shouldn't have faith in Davenport. He hasn't done anything. Absolutely. That's 100%. All right, time's up. How many games has Marcus Davenport played? 8. He has played a total of 8 games. He played 4 in his 1 year with the Minnesota Vikings in 2023. He played 2.5 with the Detroit Lions in 2024. And he played 1.5 with the Detroit Lions so far in 2025. 4, 2.5 plus 1.5 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. Marcus Davenport has played 8 games out of a potential 43. When Brad Holmes decided to re-sign him, he had played 6.5 out of a potential 34. Why would we expect anything from Marcus Davenport? I'm like, yo, if you put Ahmed in there, he might do. I mean, who knows? Who knows? 100% says -3. -3. Yes, Marcus Davenport has played 8 total games out of 43 potentially in the last 2.5 seasons. 4 with the Minnesota Vikings before he went out. Then he played 2.5 with Detroit, 1.5 with Detroit so far. Now, he does have another, 8 games that he could add to his. Is it 8? No, we played 9. Yeah. So he got 8 games that he could add. Yes, 8 games. So he could finish out. But he's not even going to play for potentially the next 3 weeks. So let's say, and DJ Reed, we already know what's up with him. We just ready for him to come back. Dude is a stud. He's a stud. It ain't no reason to talk about him. I'm glad he's coming back. I can't wait. But Davenport, let's say that his 21-day window just got opened. Let's say he eats all of that. The Lions have to make a decision by the 4th. That doesn't mean he will play on the 4th. I think he will. I think both of them will, if not before. But let's assume that he doesn't play or he does play on the 4th. I'm looking at the schedule now. That gives us the Dallas Cowboys, the LA Rams, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Minnesota Vikings, and the Chicago Bears. That'll give him 5 games. If he finished, and these are regular season games, by the way. Those 43 games were regular season games. If he comes back the 4th and he finishes the season, okay, he's played 8 games. You add, he's played 8 games in 2.5 years. You add another 5. That's 13 games. 13 games, ladies and gentlemen, out of a possible 51. So out of a possible 51 games, this dude has played 13. That's not even 30%. That's not even 30%. So I have no faith at all in Marcus Davenport. Jay says, I wish I could get paid like that to do nothing. Yeah, so do I. But let me know your thoughts. How do you feel about Reed returning? How do you feel about Davenport? Do you think Davenport will be back by December 4th? Do you think he will finish the season? And how much of an impact do you think that he'll make? I mean, to be honest with you, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. This is our team. And we talked about it in yesterday's show. Brad dropped the ball on not trading for Jalen Phillips or anyone else for that matter at the trade deadline. He dropped the ball, man. He dropped the ball because Phillips came in, made an immediate impact with the Detroit Lions. And with the Philadelphia Eagles. And I was having this conversation with somebody on Twitter as to, they said that, the same people that want to cry about Brad Holmes signing injured players are the same people that were dogging him for not trading for a injured injury history player with Jalen Phillips. And I said, yo, to me, it's night and day. It's night and day, man. Jalen Phillips is a younger version. He's younger than Marcus Davenport. To me, he has a bigger upside. And I mean, maybe it works out. Maybe it works out. But look, Brad has signed injured players and it's worked out. He signed injured players and it didn't. Marcus Davenport is a situation that it has not worked out. And even if he finished the season and plays 4 or 5 games in the regular season, that's 13 out of 51. And that is not good in anybody's standards. So let me know your thoughts down below. What's up, Jorge? Says, yawn. I'm ecstatic about DJ Reed, that DJ Reed is coming back. Absolutely. 100%. I cannot wait to see Reed. We need him bad. Our red zone D has been terrible without him. Everyone. Okay. So what is this? What is this about? Like Woodward Sports? Did y'all miss them while they were gone? It's sad to me, man. The fact that there's so much you can do if you bet on yourself. Like if you were willing to invest in yourself and not be tied to some media outlet, it is so much more like the sky is the limit, man. Now, you can go beyond the sky, but if you're working for somebody else, and that includes the people that work with me, but they're freelancers though. But if you work, like if you're an employee of like, you know how much bigger you could be without, it's just sad to me because instead of like banking on themselves, man, they want to rely on anyway. What up, One Pride? What's good with you, man? Yes, DJ Reed is coming back is huge. Absolutely. We can't have another Vikings incident with them pressuring the middle. I think Carter will command a good deal of attention. Yeah, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous about that Philadelphia D-line with the addition of Jalen Phillips with our O-line. I don't know if we've gone against a D-line like the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, you got Jahad Campbell, you've got Jalen Carter, you've got Jordan Davis, you've got Jalen Phillips, a new addition, and I just don't know, man. I'm a little nervous. I am nervous, but I will say that the Philadelphia Eagles offense is not impressive at all. And I saw today, I don't know if this is true, that A.J. Brown was like, yo, if you have me in fantasy, take me out. Like, that's crazy, bro. But he ain't lying. He is not lying. Okay, Jay says, is Kirby going to be back for the Eagles game? I saw Campbell got asked about him, but I couldn't hear. Right now, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. And that's actually going to put me into my second point that I wanted to talk about as to what the Detroit Lions could possibly do. Let me see. Been so peaceful when Woodward was gone. I don't think Zerp will be back for a while. Hopefully he's good come playoff time. You know what? That's what I think too. And that's why we're going to. Yes, Lauren, that was you, bro. That was you, man. All right, so let's talk about it. The Detroit Lions are probably going to miss their all phenom safety, man, Kirby Joseph, for what will be the 4th consecutive game, if I'm not mistaken, from him missing for the season. We saw him get hurt against, I think it was the Kansas City Chiefs, but I know he was kind of gimpy that game. The injury could have happened before, but Dan Campbell was saying back then that he was kind of playing through something. We don't know exactly how bad the injury is, but Kirby Joseph has not played in 3 games already. And the way that Dan Campbell spoke today, it looks like he's going to miss another game. Now, of course, we got the whole season, like half the season in front of us. We're trying to, I would love if Kirby could come back for the Stafford game. For the LA Rams, I would love if he could come back for that game because he got a knack for getting under Stafford's skin, so I hope to see him back then. But it looks like he's going to miss another game. And that brings me to the point of this particular topic of, and I know we could get some differences in opinion when it comes to this individual player, but again, like outside of Marcus Davenport and the guys that I like to pick on because they haven't really done anything with this team, that I think that we use the word wash and we throw scrub around and it's really not warranted. With that being the case, man, this individual did pass through waivers. He cleared. I checked the transaction wire a couple days ago. He did not get claimed by any other team, and that person I'm talking about is Quandre Diggs. Would you welcome Quandre Diggs back to the Detroit Lions? Now, he has no affiliation with this current regime. I'm sure he's familiar with Sheila because he was here back when Matt Patricia. And apparently Quandre was the first one to go. It was Diggs and then Slay, right? That we got rid of. I would, at this point, I'm to the point where we can take anything we can get. You're not going to get better any other way than by signing free agents, because where the Detroit Lions set on the waiver wire was 21 going into week 10. I don't know where they sit now, but with them being first in the NFC North, then I'm sure they're further back in the waiver claim wire. Quandre Diggs, to me, would be a welcome addition, especially while Kirby Joseph is out. Kirby Joseph, you can already see, like Jalen Ramsey, they done moved him to safety. Like, his corner days might be over in Pittsburgh. So I'm to the point where it's like we need all the help we can get. He's not familiar per se with this regime, but hey, to me, it seems like once a Detroit Lion, always a Detroit Lion. We did bring back Marvin Jones, who had no affiliation with this regime. None whatsoever. Remember, Marvin Jones went to Jacksonville, signed a 2-year deal, came back to Detroit, played a couple games. I was thinking about him the other day. I was like, man, with Jair Alexander stepping away, I was like, yo, what is Marvin Jones doing? I would like to know how he's doing. But would you take Quandre Diggs back? All right, so wait a minute. Justin Simmons is... Okay, so Michael says sign Simmons already. So what I've understood about Justin Simmons is that he's kind of in a soft retirement. Just had a kid, didn't come out and announce it, but he seems to be content with where he is. And he still loves the game, but does he love it enough to come back and play, especially not playing the season? So I think Justin is done for the year, and he might just be done already. So I think that's what's going on with Justin. Braylon says absolutely. He's more of a strong safety, but Branch could play free safety. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, at this point, even though he is because Kirby is more of that what's his name? What is his name, man? Oh my God. What's the I can't believe this. Oh my God. What was the guy that was running with Diggs? He hosts a podcast. Oh my God. It's on the tip of my tongue. I should be ashamed of myself. But yeah, I mean, still, I would bring him in because, like I said, you could finagle some things around, man. What is his name? Somebody help me out, man. What was his running mate? What was his running mate, man? Oh my God. It's on the tip of my tongue. I just can't remember. Quandre Diggs more likely. Yes, absolutely. I don't trust Harper. Quan in a heartbeat. Thank you, Dern. Oh my God, Glover Quinn. It was like sitting in the top of my eye sockets, but I could not force it to come out of my mouth. That's crazy. Yeah, so Glover Quinn was kind of that Kirby Joseph safety. But at the same time, it's like, yo, bodies. Like, we need bodies. You could finagle some things around, man. And again, you could also have a replacement for Brian Branch if you need it. But I'm at the point where we need bodies. We need bodies for sure. I cannot believe I couldn't remember his name. What do y'all think of Maddox? Avante? He's hurt still, right? He's hurt. So, I mean, I would bring him in at least for a workout, see what he got. And if you could move some things around to get him in the lineup, man, I definitely would do that. I can't believe I couldn't remember his name. I can't believe that. I cannot believe I couldn't remember his name. Oh my God. And it was just like sitting there as well. It was sitting there. All right. So am I still choppy? And those of you who are wondering or thought about this, the NFL, the ESPN playoff machine is out. It releases every week 11, the Wednesday of week 11, which is today. So we'll be doing some of those videos. He's back on the field. Okay, Josh Pascal. He's back on the field. He played against the Commanders. Oh, he is. He's back. I didn't even know that. All right, maybe I fixed it then, Kiera. Maybe I fixed it because I know it was choppy before. But I wanted to talk about because I'm getting a little nervous, man. I'm not gonna lie. He's mad rusty. It looks better. Okay, does it look like it did before, or does it just look better? Wonder how he fits in our system. Maddox played against the Commanders. That's crazy. Josh Pascal is back. No, Josh is not back yet. He hasn't been on the field yet. All right, so I wanted to bring this in. Let me see how long we've been on. Because I know my wife is going to be mad when she come in the house. She going to be mad, man. Her parents be wearing her out. And she going to be she going to be feeling some type of way when she get back in the house. All right, let's bring this in. I got a question for the chat, and let's have a conversation. So the Detroit Lions, and I think we did a video a couple days ago. We've been talking about this, about who won the trade and between Stafford and Detroit. And right now, you guys know how I feel. I think the Rams won the trade simply because you play to win the game and you win games to win Super Bowls. Like, that's the whole point. Matthew Stafford was the Rams' missing piece. Now, it did help us build our team, but at the same time, I'm starting to get a little nervous. Man. I'm not going to lie. Stafford is playing lights out. He's playing lights out, and they're talking about MVP like conversation. We've heard this before. We've Megatron never won it. They talked about Stafford in 2016 until he hurt his hand. He hurt his finger, and they were like, "Oh, Stafford MVP." Well, I'm hearing a lot of those. It reminds me this year for the Rams. It reminds me of 2021 when they went on their Super Bowl run. They made the trade. Their one bad year after the trade. And I don't know about y'all, man, but it seems like the Rams are making some noise, like legit noise. Now, they got to go through the Seahawks. As a matter of fact, I think they play the Seahawks this coming week, and that's going to be a big deal. But I'm starting to feel like the Rams could be at it again. And we play them this year in LA. Jared Goff, since the trade, is 2-1. He is 1-0 versus Stafford in the playoffs. His 2 wins have come at Ford Field. His 1 loss have come at LA. And I'm like, yo, does that mean that he's going to lose this time too? I am seeing like a matchup where the Rams are like, they're legit contention to win this thing again. Devontae Adams, everybody that was talking about how washed he is, which is why I cannot stand the word wash if they don't play for your team. Devontae Adams is far from washed. You put Stafford and Adams together, you have a problem. You have Puka Nacua. There was talk that they could have traded for TJ Hockenson at the trade deadline. They didn't do it. Their pass rush is fantastic. They now are ahead of us in sacks heading into week 11. The Rams, I'm feeling like we could see it all over again. That's just my opinion. And at that point, and the purpose of this segment is I want to ask you, we've been talking about the Detroit Lions winning the Super Bowl for a long time. What if the Rams win the Super Bowl again? Now, it took everything for the Rams to win it back in 2021. It took dropped interceptions by San Francisco 49ers. It took blown assignments by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Cooper Kupp he won Triple Crown that year. Took a lot to go right. And in the Super Bowl, it took Aaron Donald sacking Joe Burrow to leave Jamar Chase, because Jamar Chase was wide open. Burnt the mess out of Jalen Ramsey. He was open, would have been probably the go-ahead touchdown. How would you feel if the Rams win the Super Bowl again? How would you feel? Let me see. Rams won the trade so far because it equaled a ring. Once we get one, we'll have one because our talent will outlast Stafford. I could not have put that any better. That's exactly how I feel, 100%. The ultimate goal is the hardware. So we can say whatever. We can glaze it as much as we want to. Rams had a goal. They made a trade happen. They got what they wanted. Right? We're still searching for our first appearance. So you can't say that it's a tie or it was a win for both teams. It was a win for the Rams right now. But I agree 100% with that statement. I saw a clip of Adams trying to juke, but stopped and grabbed his back. He definitely not washed. He just need a good QB to throw him the ball. Well, I mean, he not a spring chicken anymore, but he can still make some grabs. He can still get them 50-50 balls as well. Rams are balling out, gaining big yards. Defense is stopping everyone. Braylon says, I will be upset. Rams seem to be blowing through the league a lot easier this season. Yes, they do. I have a feeling they're going to beat the Seahawks bad. Lions don't have a darn good defense like the Eagles, Packers, or Rams, I think it would be it would instantly add more pressure to Brad. That is a great conversation point, and that's what I wanted to go into as well. Could you imagine if 2021 was a rough year. It was a rough year, man. It was so bad. Like, I used to make fun of Stafford whenever he lost, whenever he got sacked. Like, it was a tough year, man, to watch him on every magazine, to watch him on every talk show. But if he did it again in the same amount of time that Brad and Dan have been in charge of the Lions, that's going to be tough. That's going to be a tough pill to swallow. And just like you said in the comment section, the amount of pressure at that point that will be on Brad Holmes, to me, is unparalleled. I think that's when if the fan base was not talking now, look, even if Stafford makes the Super Bowl, and think about this too. When it comes to Matthew Stafford, if you look back at last year, let's look at what they've done since Stafford, right? So they win the Super Bowl. When they trade for Stafford, they have a bad year. Stafford got hurt. They come out. They're in contention. We beat them in the playoffs. They're in contention. Last year, they made it to a Jalen Carter sack. Like, if everybody was sitting watching that game in the snow, and they're like, Stafford's about to win this game. You said it. I said it. You're like, yo, Stafford's going to win this game. He goes down the field, boom, 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 things that we've seen over and over and over. And who stopped it? Jalen Carter. The pass rush stopped it from happening, right? I'm like, yo, he's about to win this game. They're about to win this game. And if they would have played, who would they have played next? It was the Eagles, and then the Eagles played the Commanders. So would the Rams have played the Commanders? The schedule is much easier. Look it up. We better reach the Super Bowl before we have to re-sign Gibbs, Laporte, and Campbell. Okay, Michael, so you're saying that we have to reach the Super Bowl either this year or next year, because next year will be year number 4 for Gibbs, right? And then Laporta is on the last year of his deal. Maybe Stafford getting a second ring will put pressure on Brad to make a move. And if they would have played Washington, they would have beat them. I don't see the Rams beating the Seahawks and Philly, maybe one, but not both. I don't know, bro. I don't know. They have not played the Seahawks yet, so we'll see. We'll get our first taste of that this week. But then, they almost beat Philly last week. Look, as much as it pains me to say, Stafford is balling right now. When I was watching him, I was like, we might have to have the Hall of Fame conversation. Like, you've been playing for what? Stafford is in year, 16, whatever he's in, still slinging that thing. I might, we might have to talk about Hall of Fame, which it pains me to say. Rams are pretenders, in my opinion, says Will. Really? I don't see the Rams. You know what, man? I don't know. But I think that Stafford getting to the Super Bowl would be enough. But if he wins it, it's a wrap. Like, the pressure that would come on Brad Holmes, that's all the talk would be. I think it might even be worse than Stafford winning the first one. If the Rams won a second Super Bowl at any time point under Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions don't, it might be worse than winning that first one. Because the first one was like, the Lions held him down. Look what happened when he plays for a good team, blah, blah, blah. But if he was to win 2 and before the Lions win 1, that would be something. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think that Stafford could be on his way to a second Super Bowl? I hate to say it, but the way that they're playing, the receivers that they have, the way that their defense is playing, they really could be. But we play them in about a month, and we'll see what we got ready for them. Jared Goff, again, is 2-1 against Matthew Stafford since the trade. I can see the Rams versus Colts in the bowl. Bro, would you watch that? Would you watch a Rams-Colts Super Bowl? And who would you pick? Aaron says it would be entirely worse. I agree. You know how hard it is to get to a Super Bowl once, let alone if he does it again. How is that being a pretender? Did you see Campbell's reaction today regarding our last place pass rush? I did. I actually made a video about it. We had his number for quite some time. I don't think the Rams would be like the Lions in the playoffs. Okay, Age, what does that mean, bro? Hey, Lori. Laquita says I like the Colts coming out of the AFC. They're playing really good football. They're playing really good football. They got the MVP of the league running the football. And ain't it kind of funny how you can give up on somebody? Jonathan Taylor, people was ready to give up on him after he got hurt. He reminds me of Saquon Barkley, right? Didn't they have a very similar injury? They get hurt and then they come out and they dog the league. So, I don't know. Colts are pretenders. Really? Y'all okay, so the Colts are like the number one scoring offense, or they were going into week 10. Do you think they're pretenders? I don't think they are, man. I don't think they are. And Sauce had a bad game. If he start having good games, I don't believe that at all, bro. I do think that they might peak though. Like nobody expected them to be as good as they are, especially with Daniel Jones. Like nobody saw the Colts leading the AFC. Nobody saw that. Ursay daughter impresses me. Rams defense is pretenders. I will watch the Super Bowl regardless, but I definitely wouldn't support the Rams Colts. Support the party Rams Colts would bring, even though Rams have been there more recently. At least it's not the Chiefs or Eagles. Yeah. Would you rather see Chiefs? Okay, question. Would you rather see Patrick Mahomes win another Super Bowl or Matthew Stafford? Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one, bro. JT could win MVP. I just don't trust Daniel Jones. He's playing inconsistent against good defenses. Don't need to be that great at anything else. I don't know, man. Let me see. Would I rather see Mahomes win another one or Stafford? Which means, which one would I prefer? Michael says Stafford. Pierce says Stafford. Lori says neither but Patrick. We haven't hit our peak this season. I cannot stand either one of them. Their wives are not cool. What's up, H? What's good, bro? I'm going to try to put these on Spotify as well, some audio platform. Somebody asked us to do it. He left us. Just saying. Can't be mad at Stafford winning another ring. He's in the past. Says Google Face. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad because like I told y'all before, man, like my crash out days are still there, but they're getting less. I just turned 46 this month and I am learning that there are things that are not in my control. You know what I'm saying? Like to let those things go. And of course I'm going to react the way I react and it's not going to always be like that. At the same time, if Matthew Stafford won another Super Bowl, all eyes would turn toward Brad Holmes. I feel bad for Jared Goff because Jared Goff would never hear the end of it. He would never hear the end of it. Okay, that is incorrect. That is totally wrong. That's totally wrong. Is it? Yeah, that's got to be wrong, bro. That's got to be wrong. I'm very biased towards Stafford since I met him in the summer. Come on, Patrick. Come on, bro. That's all it take. That's all it take, man. So you'll just be dogging somebody like you a dog Holmes and then meet him and be like, okay, that's all it takes, bro. Yellow says that would hurt the most if we get bounced out of the NFC Championship by the Rams. I wouldn't watch the Super Bowl. Oof. No, if we got bounced out by the Rams and then they won the Super Bowl. Oh my God. But the Heat, though. The Heat, because I'm telling you, man, and I've told y'all this before, Brad Holmes, he got a lot of stuff that he got to worry about this offseason. Yo, D, do you believe in the Colts or the Patriots? More in the Colts or the Patriots? I'm going to say that I believe in the Colts a little bit more just because of the experience of Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor is beasting right now. But the Patriots are a pleasant surprise. And I also think it's a good slap in the face for not only Robert Kraft, well, I mean, he's on the benefiting end of that, but the Tennessee Titans. Like you fire Vrabel and then you fire your coach while the coach that you fired is coaching the team he used to play for and is 8-2. Like in a year, nobody expected that to happen. Q Ball, what up, though? He also helped the franchise. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Patrick, but he left. He left, bro. Stafford is an ex-wife. Stafford is the ex-wife that cheated. That's the one. That's who he is. I believe in Denver more than both of them. Okay, Pierce. Here's why I can't. The Denver Broncos offense is not the greatest. Their offense will be what lets them down. That's what they're all like. Sutton is balling, but if the Denver Broncos had our offense, they might be undefeated. Like they might run the table. They might win 21 games in a row because the Denver Broncos defense is ridiculous. And I think that I can't believe in Denver like that because of their offense. Drake May is such a good QB. Patriots favorable has won in January. Stafford ex-wife. I love it. I'm still, I still reminisce on the past. May is my MVP, to be honest. Yeah, he's up there. Denver's offense is awful. Bills will get hot at the right time. Do you think that the Bills are going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs? They beat them a couple weeks ago, but they beat them during the regular season and then they can't in the playoffs, especially if it's at Arrowhead. Like I don't know, bro. Mahomes is Josh Kryptonite. Seattle is more scary than the Rams, in your opinion. Hey, so what did y'all think of DeMarcus Lawrence? 2 fumble returns for a touchdown. Do you ever watch other defenses and you be like, dang, bro, I wish the Lions defense looked like that. I wish the Lions defense did stuff like that. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Denver offense is booty. Seattle is more scary than the Rams. Hey, shout out to Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold took the Rams to 14-3. I'm sorry, took the Vikings to 14-3. You take a payday with the Seattle Seahawks. And how smart were the Seattle Seahawks getting rid of Geno Smith? Geno Smith is booty. Like, he is booty, bro. Hey, he said they didn't write back. Yes, they did. He just didn't get the letters. Got him. This is zero reason to believe the Bills. There is zero reason to believe the Bills can beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. Home, away, it doesn't matter. Bills have to have hope. They lose or don't make the playoffs. I wish the Lions D was with the Broncos D, where it all starts with the sacks. Do you think Coach Campbell can get Tesla more involved if he keeps calling the plays? Absolutely. Darnold will choke in big games. Well, look, he playing lights out right now. So that's all that really matters to me right now. And to me, man, I don't know. I think he's going to play better even in the playoffs because of the security he has. Like, he was on a 1-year deal. He was essentially last year was an audition for what he got this year. So shout out to the Pistons though, man. Shout out to the Pistons for being 9-2. Cade Cunningham had like 46 points, man. I'm like, yo, shout out to the Detroit Pistons, man. All right, let me bring something up real quick, and then we'll wrap up the show. Do they play tonight? Pistons play tonight? Darnold will choke, burn. Dan Campbell should be calling plays. He will be. I don't believe Sam Darnold, he choked in the last game of the season against the Lions and the Rams in the playoffs. I mean, didn't the Rams sack him like a bunch of times, though? They sacked him like, I don't know. It was a bunch. So, I don't know. We'll see. I don't think this is the same Sam Darnold, y'all. I think y'all not giving him enough credit, but we'll see. All right. This is my favorite time of the year. Let me show you guys this. I absolutely love this. This is my favorite part of the year. Week 11, the ESPN NFL playoff machine. It drops every single season. I have been using this thing for the past 7 or 8 years. Week 11, the start of week 11, it drops. So Wednesday begins the new league week. It dropped today, the start of week 11. And as you can see, it is live and ready to go. You can use it through the rest of the year when the games are played. So like tomorrow night, okay, I'm assuming is this the Thursday night game? Is that what this is? The Thursday night game, once a game is played, it will be grayed out. You won't be able to pick your selection. And then once the week is completely over, the week will drop off of the tab will disappear and you can only focus on what's in front of you. I love this thing because you can go through, and as you can see now this would be something. This would be something. As a matter of fact, let's see what could be? All right, let's do this. All right, so the ESPN playoff machine dropped today. It drops every single year, the beginning of week 11, which is Wednesday. The new league year begins on a Wednesday. The new league week begins on Wednesday, so I'll get it right. So Wednesday, today being Wednesday, the 12th of November, week 11 officially begins today, and the ESPN playoff machine is active and running. And I love this machine. I love this time of year. You guys may not remember, but back in 2022, when the Lions were 1-6, and I was getting destroyed about how the Lions can make the playoffs, I was using this machine. And we were a half game or a Rams victory over the Seahawks or a victory ourselves over the Seahawks from being in the playoffs that year. I don't think we would have won the whole thing, but I think we would have made some significant damage. That is also when we put Aaron Rodgers out of the NFC, and we also ended his time with Green Bay and stopped them from going to the playoffs. So we didn't make the playoffs that year, but at least we went out with the bang. That was when we wind up finishing the season 8-2 after starting 1-6. But right now you can see through 10 weeks, this is the current playoff matchup. Now, obviously, we've got a lot of football left to go, and this is no doubt to change. I do believe that this is going to be, for the most part, the playoff matchups in the NFC. I think there could be one or two changes. I think the change would most likely be the Chicago Bears over instead of the 49ers, or the 49ers instead of the Bears. I think that the West or the North will have three teams they'll be representing themselves in the playoffs. I think the West will have two, and the East and the South apparently will have one. The South is they're miserable, so they'll probably just have. Now, the Dallas Cowboys could somehow, maybe some way, try to finagle their way in here. But right now, I was looking at this yesterday, and I was like, okay, if the playoffs ended today, or the season ended today, this would be a playoff picture. So Chicago would have to come to Detroit. What do you think would happen? I think we would still beat them. And I'm looking at the narratives as well, right? Like, I could really see a narrative that Ben Johnson comes back to Detroit in a playoff game. Like, this is crazy. And then, of course, you have the Stafford narrative that will never go away until either him or Goff are not on their respective teams. Like, and the way this is going, Goff will retire before Stafford. Stafford trying to play till he's 50 years old. So I'm like, all right, so this is how it would look. Who would you take over the Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers? I would take the Seahawks. The Lions and Bears, I would take the Lions. And then the Rams and the Bucks. This will be probably the best game of the wild card weekend. So I'm going to take the Rams. So then with the Rams being the lower seed, they would go to Philly for the second year in a row. And then the Lions would host. The Lions would have to go to Seattle. That would be a game right there. Who do you think would win that game? Be honest. Don't be biased. Who do you think? I don't know. I haven't seen enough of Seattle to know. I know that. I don't know. I don't know. You got the 12th man. I would be leaning towards Seattle, but I would love to be wrong. So then you would have. So the Lions would go into Seattle and try to upset them, and then they would play the winner of the Rams and Philadelphia. The cool thing would be if the Lions did go in and beat the Seahawks and the Rams beat the Eagles, then the Rams would come to Detroit for the NFC Championship game. I will say this, though. The Lions are in play for the first seed. There's no doubt about it. I don't care if we don't get it or not. It doesn't bother me. We've already done it. I would love the free game to the Super Bowl. Like, I would love that you get a free game. You don't have to play round one. It's essentially 2 wins instead of 3, and you're in the Super Bowl. But after what happened last year, I got PTSD. I'm not going to lie. So if I'm a numbers guy, I'm a pattern guy, I'm a statistical guy. We won when we went to the NFC Championship game. We were the 3rd seed. So I wouldn't be upset at all if we stay here, because to me, it's like, maybe we need that game. Maybe we don't need a week off. Maybe we play our best football after losing a game. Dan Campbell has not lost a game back-to-back games in 53 games or 13. I think it's been 13 times that we've lost and haven't lost the game after. So for me, I wouldn't mind if we stay here. I wouldn't mind. But there's a way, and we're going to get into this on Lions Syndicate as well, that right now that we could see one of these matchups. But right now, as of right now, and again, I haven't seen enough Seattle games because I don't get to watch them, but I will be able to watch them this coming week, most likely. So I would probably pick Detroit over the Bears, the Rams over the Buccaneers, the Seattle Seahawks over the Packers. Now, if the Packers were to do something crazy, like upset the Seattle Seahawks, then they would go to Philly. And then the Rams will come to us in the divisional round. So I don't know, man, but I absolutely love this machine. I love this time of year, and I cannot. This is the most wonderful time of the year for me. I love when the playoffs they get closer in sight. Like when you can do all these different scenarios about seeding and who plays who and where and all this other stuff, man. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What matchup would you like to see in the playoffs? If the playoffs started today, the Bears would come to Detroit in the wild card round. What up? 1021 says, my simulation has Green Bay missing the playoffs. Hey, you've already done this, Tim. I want the snake in the playoffs. As long as Detroit doesn't overlook the opposite team like they did with Washington last year, they can beat anyone as long as Campbell is calling the plays. Darren, I agree with that. I also believe that the snake had a lot to do with that, bro. I think it was a lot to do. Dang, bro. It was just 53 minutes, and now we're over time. All right. So listen. Again, I appreciate you guys for rocking with me. The channel's doing fantastic. I mean, at the way we're going, we could hit 6,000 subscribers by the end of the football season. And I am probably going to stay home this week. I don't feel 100%. It was weird because I thought I had COVID. I tested. It was negative, but then I thought I saw a faint line. I was going to test again, but I didn't want to waste the test because I'm like that. But it feels like something is still there. I don't know if it's going to rain on Sunday. And then I'm like, I'm hearing horror stories about the airport and then all this stuff. I even thought about driving, but I'm like, Derek, why do all that? Stay home, save your money, put it toward season tickets, put it toward another road game or even a home game or something and go from there, man. So I am leaning towards staying home. I'm not ready to go and travel and sit outside. I'm not ready. So everybody will get their wish. So if the Lions win, then it's like, okay, Derek, now the superstition lives. If they lose, it's over. Like, oh God, I cannot believe that y'all blaming me for these losses. Anyway, we might win if I stay. Hey, no, you ain't. You ain't. Y'all, listen, y'all are not kidding. You guys are not kidding. It's okay. I'm not superstitious, but I know a lot of y'all are. But I'm like, yo, all these other people that go to games or sit at home, I'm the reason we're losing. That's crazy, man. Anyway, look, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day. Go Lions. Take care of yourself. Because we all need it, man. And I am tired. Like, you're still sick if you feel tired from doing nothing. Like, if you feel tired from breathing, you're still sick. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
And I'm pissing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City when we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the day, you don't know about the streets. Cause when you're in the motor city, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the day, you don't know about the streets. Cause when you're in the motor city, everything ain't pretty but it's love though. Next Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City when we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City when we get back on our feet. Yeah.